Hi. Hi. How is everyone? Hello. Hey, yo. Whatever. Hello, friends. Meow. How is everyone? How are you all? How was your weekend? Hope you have a nice. Hope you had a nice one. Oh, sorry. Today I'll be alone, so bear with me if I'm a little bit slower. Also had a bit of a tough weekend, just health-wise, whatever. So it was a little bit slow. And anyway, I'll manage. I was getting questions whether we should, because all my streaming buddies are having a day off or are not available today. So it's yeah, I'll be alone with you, which is like good old times, maybe, right? I guess you're going to be missing Santiago or anyone else. I said maybe we'll just do another stream later this week when they're back. Pedro, Santiago, whoever else, Olga. Maybe we'll just, I don't know what, right? But today it's just me. Who's Ziva? Super nice. That's cool. I don't know who Ziva is at this stage. Vitamins and minerals. Yes. I always drink healthy stuff, right? Isn't that next week, 11/11? What's next week? Good morning, good afternoon from Portugal. I'm all right, I would say. I'm all right. 24-hour stream, maybe. This season is the most dry regarding pulling from the chest. I've had somebody else comment on that as well, and we checked, but we couldn't see anything kind of really weird. But we want to increase overall productivity of the chest. All right, so we're looking into that, right? So hope that Ziva. That's a screen name. Okay, all right. I don't know everyone, so it's good. Let's see whether we can get Ziva on stream. That would be nice. Last 3 seasons, chess rewards are really dry. I have historical data going back to season 4, and these 3 are a big anomaly. Not sure why. Can you send over the data? Like if you have consolidated data from every season, I'd be interested. I mean, we have the data somewhere as well, but we would have to consolidate it and look at it. So would be great to get it. But it's anecdotal. Hey, Asa. Great to have people from Twitter X over. Well, yeah, but we only changed that. Didn't we just change that last season 20 or 19? Sure. Okay, so you just your personal ones. Well, that doesn't count because you might be superseded by other people. Where or when, Morpheus, will get our NFTs of Wilder World? That is a good one. I mean, you guys are already started with questions here, and I'm obviously busy answering them. But I also have a few things that I wanted to ask. So anyway, so I'll just tag a few so I don't forget about them. What happened to the airdrops that came from launchbacks? I need my whale tokens from getting my stuff to level 10. I think there's been a few issues with that. Yeah, so ideally you would reach out to launchbacks to Juan or Kari or Jose or whoever to get that sorted out, because we had nothing to do with that, like literally, right? Neither did we set up the tokens, nor did are we running launchbacks or backstep or whatever. So I don't know. More changes. Maybe if the mob leaders are here, they can answer, and we can pull them up, because I don't know really. You need to make changes in regulations in an I when an agent in 2025 is common, because Wombat can be Web3. Gaming will be huge and potential is massive in coming years. That's correct. That is correct. Is Atomic Hub having verify issues like last time? I don't know what you're talking about. Last time? This time? Can we get access from launchbacks to hold liquidity pools and other reward systems? Currently, we can't set up TACO or alco farms due to not being the token originators. Right. That's weird. Oh, right. So they were set up for you. So what you can do, I can put you in touch, like out with the TACO and the Alcor teams, and they can set it up for you. At least with TACO, that's what we used to do whenever we created pools for or meals for on TACO for the liquidity pools, because we are the co-originators of the token, but it's a multi-sig, so I don't know how to log in and how to actually do this, right? So we just asked them, and they helped us. So I can put you in touch there. Red mob, best mob, blue mob leader here. So you're all here. That's cool. Red mob will be adding airdrops of tokens to all future mob events. Look at that. So blue mob has been very active already with these medals. So I did a little bit of blending those days. So that's really cool. So you have a chance of getting this kind of blue medal, and then you can upgrade it to a diamond plated one. And then if you have 3 diamond plated ones, you can blend them into a box, and the box has a pre-minted 1-of-1 whale NFT. And I have that. I have the one, the blue whale visiting Philippines. No problem with the Philippines, of course, but if you had Germany, if one of you has blue whale visiting Germany, then I would totally trade my my Philippines one. So if anyone has that, I'm willing to trade or buy it off of you, whatever. There's a lot of yep, sure, will do. Red and yellow mob tokens are rug pulls, blue mob token to the moon. So far, the blue mob token is outperforming a little bit, but come on, there's a lot of upside potential on all 3 of them. So I keep buying all of them every once in a while. Verifying on Atomic Hub is painful today. Oh my god. Okay. Typically always already logged in, so I would never notice myself. If I log out, if I log back in, okay, I don't have to verify. I don't know. It's probably, I don't know. I would have to do that in a new tab. So I'll forward that to the team. Sorry, Rising Dragons. Oh, that's good. You had pneumonia. Hope you're and strep. Okay, that sounds nasty, really nasty. So glad that you're feeling better. So let's get this rolling. All the stuff, right? So Let's watch all 3 mob tokens flip Woofy. That would be big, right? Especially after Woofy doing pretty well over the last few weeks, like week and a half, 2 weeks, right? So Woofy is back to like a 100 million, close to 100 million valuation. So if we can get there, if we can get 1% of that for any one of these tokens, that would be more than amazing. But I think we'll actually need that bull run here. Where is Zuller today? He has a day off. He's traveling. He'll be back on Wednesday. And so maybe we'll do a stream on Wednesday or Thursday. He suggested I move the stream to Wednesday so that he can be present. But I said, nah, I don't want to disappoint everyone or mix up everybody's schedule. So everyone's like so used to being slotted on that Monday, like myself as well. Oh, that is a great idea. Flip all your Woofy into Blue Whale or Red or Dead Coin or Lombi, or all 3 of them. That's cool. Imagine everyone would do that. Wouldn't be great for Woofy, but the mob tokens. I mean, if only a few people do that, that would already be amazing. Red is also working on some token blends, but I need to get some things worked out before we deploy the NFTs and blends. Go ahead. The faster, the better. Could not set buy orders today, and it showed error loading friends list. The friends list thing, that's kind of a more common one. Let me... okay, I texted. Can we get mob tokens on Atomic Hub? I would love to see that functionality be around. What do you mean I take off my pants and jacket? Do you mean... And by the way, I've been starring a few questions. We'll get to them, right? Would love to see the functionality, like that you can buy and sell NFTs with these tokens, or what? Yeah, that would be pretty amazing. Locked out, full disclosure, 300 billion Blue Whale. That's not a lot, is it? Let's check Wax on Edge. There's like, what, 60 trillion, right? 69 trillion of each. Blue Whale. So again, I can recommend anyone go into Wax on Edge if you want to see more information about those. They now have the icons in here. That's cool. So yeah, so that's the price performance since, what is that, 29th last week, right? So that's been going pretty well. If we can keep that uptrend. Before that, it's been a little bit of an up and down, like massive volatility, just like for any kind of micro cap coin. I think the blue one is the only one that has burned tokens so far. So that's also interesting. And yeah, so there's 69, I think that's trillion here. Yeah, 69 trillion. So if you have 300 billion, that is, you're not even in the top 10. So that's 400. Okay, that's the burn address. So yeah, Wax on Edge. That's a really cool tool because you can see how much liquidity is in there. I mean, it's all on-chain stuff, right? So there are no secrets, but that's very helpful. And then you can also swap, right? And then you will have kind of a multi-path swap, and you get the most efficient rate essentially. So that's really handy. Blue Whale made me a billionaire. I'm so happy. A billionaire in what? I can sell Woofy for blue. It says 98% impact to liquidity, 5% equity in the swap. Yeah, try less maybe, or try wax on edge. Maybe that's better. With just 50 wax, I became a billionaire. These stories, like not as extreme, right? But if as soon as there's some people making thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars by investing $50 or whatever, that is what's going to cause a massive run, right? I think it's 20 billion for 50 wax at the moment. Yeah, just the more people buy, the less, the more wax will be needed to get there, right? Yeah, okay. Billionaire is subject to having a billion of something. Anyone can make a billion of something, right? I mean, $1 to ship early 2021 made you a literal millionaire by December 2021. Was it that bad? That strong? That good? Whatever. Have you been in contact with the R Planet team regarding their new competition running? 50K USD prize pool, and it's still difficult to recruit players. Wax blockchain is really slow at the moment. Yeah, we've been in touch. Actually, also spoke with the Wax team about that. So it would be great to have more eyes on this, right? I think it's awesome that they're back with a kind of real server, with a competition. It's great to have them back. I think it's overall a good sign that Our Planet are back. Then there's Pantheon that launched. I don't know whether any one of you played Pantheon so far. I would have a few questions about this, because I tried it out. I just saw it on the weekend, and there's a bunch of things that I'm scared about. So I'd be curious whether any one of you has played it. But I think that's great, that we're getting more content on Wax, specifically, but on blockchain gaming in general, right? I think it's good to have that back. That this is what's going to spark a new run if there's these games gaining traction. Pantheon game. Playpantheon.com. This is where it is. I'll post the link because MassPass. Peanut pump? What is peanut? So I bought a few packs from Pantheon. I think literally just launched last week. It's a tiny little community. It's a card game. The artworks look pretty decent, right? I kind of like that. Not sure about the overall setting with like Greek gods and stuff. I'm not that much into Greek mythology, but okay, whatever. But it looks cool, and it looks funny that you can actually lose your cards, but that's what I was scared about. So just like, how do you play that? I mean, maybe I should just watch your stream, because I was like yesterday, I was looking for content about it because there's so few players. I was actually scared of running a match and then losing all my cards, or my most valuable cards, because I got a legendary from my first pack that I opened, so I obviously don't want to lose my legendary. So would be curious. And I also spoke with Matt earlier, because we have a few things to give away, and that's going to happen in one of the next events within a few weeks. So we'll be handing out free packs for Pantheon. So just to shout out that game's live, just check it out. You will need to get some gods, I guess, but you can get those packs. Yeah. Locked out. Don't worry, I have all your questions start. Maybe I'll start with something by Drishy, because that's on top of my mind right now. It's kind of the elections, right? And you can basically see the predictions, right? If you're like, let's have a quick look at Polymarket, because I think that's That's really interesting. Where's my tab here? Poly market. Um, so what's been going on through the last month in terms of who the favorite is, not from a Paul's perspective, but from a kind of what do people who put in a lot of money think what's going to happen? And traditionally, these types of prediction markets would be more accurate than actual polls, right? In terms of predicting the winner, because yeah, people have more to lose here than in polls, basically, right? So it's similar to betting. There's obviously sports betting. The market is pretty much arbitraged between, well, a prediction market like this and whatever sports betting sites that offer odds on the elections, right? So they change kind of in a very similar way. So yeah, and that's currently predicting Trump to be a close to 60% favorite to win, which is well, that's a lot higher than it was on the weekend, where it got really really tight, right? So obviously there's no guarantee that it's going to go one way or another. Based on this prediction, it's 60% likelihood, right? So that's it's a very close race, and obviously that's going to have a big impact on the market. So Drishi, if you're asking that, I think that you can tell how Bitcoin's reacting to, if you look at the poly market chart for the likelihood of Trump winning, right? Then you can see a very similar movement in the price of Bitcoin. So if the likelihood for Trump winning goes up a few percent, then typically over the last few days, Bitcoin would go up a few $100s, right? Because people are really bullish on, well, Trump being elected, then basically pushing his whatever 1 million Bitcoin reserve agenda, or firing Gary Gensler on the first day of his presidency, or whatever it is, right? So there's a lot of crazy expectations around Trump being the next president when it comes to crypto. So that's going to be, well, very bullish. If Harris gets elected, I would expect that the market first dumps a little to maybe 65, maybe 63, maybe all the way to 60, right? But it'll recover, and it will. Well, I would assume that we're going to end up in a bullish sentiment as well, just not as bullish as if Trump wins, right? So we're going to be doing well. Maybe in one scenario, we're going to be doing a bit better than in the other. So I think that the table is actually set, right? We've all been waiting for this to happen. Rates are getting cut. So Thursday, we have the next Fed decision. It's unusual to have that on a Thursday. I guess that's because of the elections. Thursday, we'll know whether the Fed will cut another 25%, 25 basis points or not. That's might be bullish. So it's cool. I think we're overall getting there. Bitcoin will start first. So this time, I don't think that the catalyst for next bull run will be NFTs or Web3 gaming, right? Like what we saw, like metaverse, the whole hype around metaverse in 2021, 22. It's going to be the other way around. So the market will improve because now we have Bitcoin spot ETFs had large inflows last week as well, right? So we'll see kind of a big surge in the kind of crypto as an investment space first, and then the money will spill over to altcoins, to NFTs, to gaming projects, and so on. But yeah, it's going to be totally different than last time. So I think we're at the beginning of a good period. Whether that's going to be a bull market like the ones that we've seen before, I kind of doubt that. It's going to be this kind of craziness, right? It may last a little longer this time around, though, because I mean everyone's looking for historical data, right? And how long after the halving does the bull run start? Blah 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 blah, right? There's a lot of kind of these things, but one thing that they're all neglecting is all of the previous Bitcoin bull runs came during times where we had record low interest rates, right? So there was a lot of cheap money that was basically, it was very low risk to actually pour them well, risk on assets, high risk assets like crypto. If you just made your money back, you were good, right? It's different now. Now it's not free to basically just buy something and wait until it goes back up, right? Like Bitcoin, for instance. So yeah, it's much more difficult to actually pour as much money into the market. So unless that's superseded by the spot ETFs or whatever else, we're going to see an overall kind of different pattern, I suppose. But I think it will be good. So that's what I personally think, that we're at the beginning of this kind of run. Yeah. Just following up, we will get there. We'll get there. Yes, we're looking at this. Just want to, with both Trump and Kamala agreeing to be more crypto friendly and threatening against the election results can't be bad either way, right? Right? Yeah, that's what I just said, right? I think that is good. It's going to be good, but it's I suppose that, well, Trump will be slightly better for crypto than Kamala. Peanut, the squirrel that died, right? So yeah, these are good. These are generally good meme coins because they always end up trending when stuff like that happens. Okay. Is the fragment update still set for mid-season this season? We'll have to see, because now we have a bunch of things happening towards mid-season, so I'm not sure whether we'll be able to make it. But yeah, we have an idea fleshed out, so it's only a matter of executing this. Suggestion: could you imagine to strengthen the NFT gear? Would also be great if this is used for chest opening, even when we do Q trans. Yeah, we've had that suggestion a few times, to do something about it. So far, the problem is that this is a really big change, right? If we want to do it the way that have been suggested, or in one of the ways that have been suggested, this is going to make it incredibly complex, because basically the calculation of what's in the chest, or well, of your rewards, happens well at midnight, right? Not when you claim the chest. So that's when we know. So we would have to change things at the core of the game, which is not great, right? Just in order to get that done. So we were thinking back in the day, a few months ago, actually, whether we would calculate your NFT likelihood from the gear based upon runs in which you actually use it, and then apply that. That would actually be easier. That would go to the detriment of all the other gears, though, which maybe is exactly what we want, maybe not, right? So yeah, it's not on the top of our minds right now to make big changes there. But if there's a good way where we can actually strengthen actually above that the gear, then we would happily do it. Second gear set for easy gear swaps when? Yeah, that we'll have to see how we go about this. I'll have to talk to Zuller. It'd be great if you ask the question to him next time he's around, because Santiago, so that yeah, you get a more accurate answer than from me. Any info on that victory motivation blend? No, there's no info on those yet. Can't say. Hang on. Yeah, so Beantown Bob is asking the same question. Then there was Ving Arctic Wolf asking about stamina consumption. Does it still work with integers and not float? Yes, we haven't changed anything, so it's still integers. And then there's been a few questions about the play token. I mean, Brent has asked kind of more generic questions. Still no light at the end of the tunnel play. And Beanton Bob asked, do you have any update on play? I don't have any specific updates in terms of, okay, this is when it's going to come. Obviously with the market changing, some partners or some companies are generally focusing on different things. So right now we need to work around something partner related. We're working on this. I think we'll be ready soon. So hope that we can give you an update at that stage. But also let's see what the elections bring and how much everyone's going to go into crazy mode afterwards. With regards to end of the light of the tunnel, a light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry. We just been looking at a bunch of, like, by coincidence, more or less, at a bunch of competitors or other gaming related coins. Somebody brought up the PixFi today from a kind of Telegram perspective. It's crazy how bad the market overall was has been for Web3 gaming, right, and related stuff. So I'm not saying that we'll wait for the market to improve. That's not what I'm saying, because I already said that we're not doing this. But it's just when people say, okay, hey, performance has been so bad. Yes, performance has been bad from a price perspective. It's really hard to perform really, really well when the market is overall really shitty, right? I just had a look at PixFi, like I said, and so they're like 3 million market cap now. There, people mentioned block games and others. So it's just crazy how difficult the overall sentiment is. There's been a Wells notice handed over to Mutable that causes a lot of uncertainty. Been trying to basically get a catch of the sentiment overall regarding kind of does that influence partners, other gaming companies, in terms of what kind of decisions they make, in terms of when they're going to launch, are they going to wait? Because obviously anyone who builds on Immutable is somehow involved in IMX, right? So is that something that you want to bet on? So there's, I think it's going to take a little bit more time for the Web3 gaming market to actually rebound and to get back. We need more games, for sure. We need more good games. We need more people playing these games. And then it's going to improve from kind of a or fundamental perspective. But the overall sentiment has been really bad, even if people like, I don't know, some big KOLs, they've been calling like, Web3 gaming is going to be awesome. I think Web3 gaming is going to be awesome, but right now the sentiment is really, really bad. So yeah, so that's going to happen. So I think Thiago is on this, or was on this, and this is going to happen during mid-season, I believe. Can you not just have an extra NFT pool for NFT gear, similar to how you have a bonus wombat pool? So you mean that this would be distributed only among people who wear gear? Okay, that's interesting. have to think about this. Cardano and RPX. You probably mean Cardano and XRP. Sounds like crypto you find on Timo or Wish. Um, um, okay. That. With population decline and birth rates in a dumpster, real estate will only hold value with immigration pushing demand. I think real estate will have value when interest rates are low. The problem is that the low interest rates have inflated real estate prices so much, right? People haven't been talking about inflation for the last, or between 2008 and 2020, what, one, right? Until Russia, Ukraine, whatever. Um, and so nobody, or maybe let's say COVID, right? Or after COVID. But the problem is it was happening already. It was happening for years and years, especially on investment goods, right? Like real estate. So there was massive inflation happening, which then obviously causes rent to go up and these kinds of things, and that materializes later. But nobody was talking about that because consumer goods did not increase in price. So I think it's just a result. It's a normal result. But now, obviously, the prices of real estate are so high that yes, they can only go down if interest rates are so high, right? Because people can't afford their houses anymore. RWA Fi. What's the coolest real world asset stuff going on? I feel so many KOLs don't know much about Web3. They're just Web2 guys with so many followers and jumped into Web3 because they saw opportunities. I don't know. Maybe some of them know the market really, really well, right? Depending on who you talk to. I don't want to talk badly about KOLs because they can do a lot. I mean, with many of them, let's put it that way, with some or many of them, it's totally clear what their goal is, right? To make a lot of money pretty quickly. So you have to take their advice with a grain of salt sometimes. Yeah, exactly. So Wing Arctic Wolf was pointing that out. Good point. But in some countries, there's a lot of people who rent. Totally, right? Germany, there's also a lot of people who rent, and then the rent goes up if real estate prices are high. Robot is feeling like people still mixing Web3 games and play to earn staking idle games. I see a big difference in both type of games. Not every crypto Web3 game is about making money, right? No, it's not, right? But it's all one sentiment in the end, right? Because the crypto folks among the people who are interested in these games are more of the kind of investment types, right? So they look for high returns in a short period of time. So they they want to see big pumps, right? And these big pumps come when there's a lot of money moving in, and that money, right? So if you look at how much money does a typical gamer spend on any game, right? Whether that's Web2 or Web3, like the people who play the games, well, they spend $5, $10 per month, whatever, right? This kind of order of magnitude, maybe 20. But in crypto, in these kind of play to earn games, there's a lot of people who spend thousands, tens of thousands, right? And that typically does not happen in traditional games all that often, right? Especially not with these small player groups. So there's a lot more cash flow that can be generated from kind of the crypto whales coming in and buying a lot of stuff and so on. And that is what skews the whole concept, right? Because these are the most influential people there. Yeah, if a game promotes ROI, that's who it attracts. Um, then it's not a game, right? Then it's really a liquidity farm, whatever. Mm. Games that don't do that, usually have more actual players. Yes, but these players spend less money. So it's actually a valid point if you look at something like Axie Infinity, which was clearly built for Web3 folks, right? People wanting to make money. And then there was all these scholarships in what are called in these guilds, right? Where if you couldn't afford to buy 3 axes to actually start playing, or more axes to start playing properly, then somebody would stake you and you would share your revenue with them, right? Because it's just about, like, as soon as you have them, it's just about playing a lot um, and then breeding more axes and whatnot, right? And selling this stuff, earning tokens and selling tokens. So there was a whole industry around that. Okay, that didn't like none of them were actual players, right? In that definition, but the team managed to rake in a lot of money to now go ahead and build, well, maybe actual games, right? Games that are fun to play, that will attract a lot more kind of traditional actual gamers. I don't know. In theory, that's what you could do, right? Um, Gotti went nuts. What's Gotti again? I mean, there's so many of these meme coins. Um, if Wombat doesn't pay, I don't think Adrian will still be CEO. Well, actually, we want to hand out more rewards rather than fewer, right? We want to pay more, a bigger share of what we're making overall. Web2 games just need to put their skins on blockchain, not stat boosting items, just skins. That's what's needed. When it's stats, the whales manipulate things by earning more and driving prices up and then dump on people after the fact. Yeah, that is a thing. And I mean, the skins markets, they're generally big, right? Even in traditional gaming on Steam and wherever there's a huge skin market. Um, it just feels so Web3 feels so underutilized when you just have skins that are being traded as NFTs. It's a little bit waste. It's a little bit of a waste. It feels like, right? Because there's so much more you could do. I basically think that it comes down to balancing a lot, right? And figuring out ways. Um, because, I mean, let's go back to, let's say, Diablo 3 and their in-game auction house, right? They ended up pulling that away, although they were making good money from it, Blizzard in that case, because the economy was not balanced towards people spending a lot of money. So they viewed that as a mistake and they didn't want to go back to that, right? That's pretty much the equivalent of making everything an NFT that's tradable. You need to attune to this, right? You need to accept the fact that yes, it's possible to spend money, and that this can put balancing out of whack, right? But at the same time, trades and moving items and selling items and so on, that's been happening in Diablo 3. Nonetheless, it wasn't sanctioned, it wasn't official. So maybe fewer people were doing this. But if fewer people do that because they are fearing the consequences, then the most advanced people will do it more compared to the less advanced people, right? So it will basically just give the players who actually still do it, but with less official tactics, it will give them a bigger advantage, right? So you could argue like that as well. So I'm not so sure whether it just has to be skins. I think we just need to figure out ways of balancing this, and then it's going to be better, and we'll get there. Um, look at Big Time. I haven't played Big Time, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of debate about Big Time, but also about gala games basically catering to whales mostly, right? And from a business model perspective, I totally understand that. Mm. RMAH was removed because the US government threatened them over not disclosing sales and linking usernames to humans will forever miss the ah the real money auction house was removed because the US government threatened them over not disclosing sales. Hmm. Okay, I thought it was a balancing thing. Big Web 2 companies need to start a transition into Web 3. If less people start to play Web 2, then they would see the need to reward more people. Yeah, I mean, I think the pressure needs to come from the players, right? And so the pressure can only come if there's alternatives to the current games, right? So my perfect example always is FIFA Ultimate Tournament, right? It's not called FIFA anymore. It's called what, EA Sports FC. But if you play Ultimate, like UT in there, Ultimate Tournament in there, and you have all these cards, right? If imagine you had the same game with the same licenses and a very similar gameplay and whatnot. It's just that you would actually own the cards that you buy in Ultimate Tournament, right? If you had an alternative, would you play the traditional UT or FIFA or whatever it's called, or FC? Or would you play the new one, the Web3 one? I would always play the Web3 one because I would know, hey, if anything, I can sell these cards and then I can buy something in this game or I can buy something in another game, right? That's what it's all about. And so I would always prefer that, but there is not a good alternative that's a Web3 alternative to EA Sports FC, right? And as soon as there is, and there's a lot of people playing this, and basically, well, it shows in the numbers of the actual current games, then the large Web2 companies will actually start thinking about it. The only large Web2 companies that have already moved into Web3 are the more kind of, let's say, desperate ones. All right, there is some large ones, but these are not the top performing Web2 game companies right now, right? Because they simply don't have. It's an innovator's dilemma kind of thing. They have no reason to do that, right? Um, I'm really excited how the economy of games like Shrapnel, Wilder World, and Off the Grid will go. I mean, yeah, Off the Grid was really interesting recently, right? It's actually a German team, so that's cool. But there was a lot of hype, and they managed to trend on Epic Games, right, and these kinds of things. But a lot of that was very short term, short lived. So let's hope that there's kind of more long term stuff that's going to happen with long term engagements with streamers. That these games are actually really really good and people want to play them. So streamers also want to play them, and they don't just play them because they get sponsored, but they play them because, well, they like playing the games, right? Because this is where we need to. This is where we need to get. Right. So far, especially with Web3, it's mostly been about, well, again, coming back to KOLs, right? Streamers basically streaming games because either they got sponsored, they got free tokens, so they would be interested in getting a lot of players in, or, well, they bought the assets themselves, they were invested, so they would want the assets to perform well. New GTA is going to be Web3. That would be definitely interesting. Won't play Big Time anymore. We're catering frustrated. So Uga, you're being very vocal about this. It's interesting. I haven't even tried. Yeah. Aren't NFT MPs gonna be looked at more often? There are some really old, low mint NFTs that have like 20 MP and some unlimited schemas that are 500 plus. Well, let me take that with me and talk to Zuller about it. Um, just because you asked, if you like whiskey, feel free to check Dram Sky. It's an RWA project on Solana, which is doing RWA rare whiskey in barrels and flasks, which can be redeemed. Cool. I mean, hopefully it's good whiskey, right? Because that's what's sometimes been lacking, right? You had a Web3 kind of thing with wine or beer, and then if that stuff is mediocre, then what's the point? But I will look at Dram Sky. Ever seen XY Oracle? They've been doing GPS services with tokenized rewards for many years now. Is that the Zio token? Then yes. Wow. It's a lot of discussion. So just trying to keep up with it. The only people that can cause mass adoption is the Ton blockchain. They keep giving us tappers instead of real gameplay. That's how it starts, right? So Telegram games are mostly, well, what has been successful. But I just said, right? PixFi, the PixFi token. Whoever got in on that hasn't had a lot of fun with the token price, right? So they launched at a 200 million valuation. Now they're down to at 5 or 10 million. I don't know. So it's crazy. So now we are seeing that these kinds of things, purely tappers, they don't work anymore. So we need better. We need more, right? But I also would disagree with the only ones causing mass adoption being Ton. There is, well, quite similarly, there is Kaya that launched recently. That's kind of the Ton equivalent, or you could say the what's that Korean? Oh, so I mean, anyway, Kaya is the blockchain by Line, or working with Line, the Line messenger, right? The Japanese, what have you, kind of, yeah, WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever. And there was a similar thing. Oh God, I keep forgetting. For the Korean messenger as well, right? I'll remember later. So I think that there's more alternatives to that, right? With these kinds of messengers, and but also there's Sony Chain, right? Why wouldn't that be mass adoption ready? There is Solana with the Solana phone. There's Sui with the handheld, right? So there's a lot of kind of alternatives when it comes to real mass adoption. It just, this is taking so much time, right? But come on, if we think back to where we were in 2017, right? Or even 2018, 2019, when DeFi started, DeFi summer 2020, right? DeFi is so far away from being mass market as well. So it's this stuff is really crazy. Yeah, exactly. In 2009, when Facebook dropped, clickers, tappers, they were all the rage. Wow, chat is on fire today. Does the current smart contract work with Paul on leveling up Treewolf? I believe it does. We've been checking everything regarding that, but I'll ask back for you. So, yeah, regarding Atomic Hub check-in and so on, that should hopefully be better now because we had an infrastructure upgrade that was scheduled for today. That's also a good point about Dungeon Master. There's no gameplay to stream on Twitch. That's correct. Yeah. Um, what would be a streamable gameplay for Dungeon Master that we could stream on Twitch? It's a very good point. Did you see my message about gear NFT value? I'm not sure. No, probably not. But on where? I read that there is a relaunch of a streaming app on Telegram. Sounds interesting. If Web3 is integrated there, social tokens incoming. Feel free to read it here if you want. Don't know. Soulbound. Okay. Yeah, I think streaming being integrated and fan tokens and so on. That's really cool. So okay, but there's been a few questions that I tagged in between. CapTop has been suggesting you should wait until a big cryptocurrency event to launch the play token. I think make a big deal of it, have a big party. I've been tossing around that party idea lately, so I just need to grab all the people and maybe we'll actually make that part of a side event. Not sure whether that will then coincide with the play token, but that I think that is a really good idea. Can you bring some alternative option for clan building activation? Currently, gold plus other resources are the only option. Our clan doesn't produce much gold. Please give us some option of wombat or other. Yeah, that was the fallout of the discussion regarding bricks, and we actually want to have a wombat option for this. So the answer to the Paul question is yes, it should work. Right? So the team checked and it's been working. I mean, we changed it, but yes, we can see that it's been working. And well, can't say all cases, right? So if you have a problem, then please report it. Pokemon TCG Pocket, who's playing? When available in one play? Would love to have that in one play. Let's see. Maybe there's something we can do. Kane Master has been asking, do you think increase XP for 5-minute runs because many players start doing only 1-hour runs because Stadium could be an incentive to do 5-minute runs and keep XP gear valuable? Yeah, so XP gear definitely is limited by the XP limits, right? So what I don't think we'll do is increase the XP, but what we could think about is increase the maximum XP that you can get per run, because most people are probably hitting that, especially when they wear XP gear. So that's definitely something we can look at, but I'm not promising it anyway. In any way, right? Let me shove that over to Santiago. Okay. I wish there was a good place to go and see what airdrops I get for the Chapter 2 phone on Solana, right? I think that there needs to be a lot, or it would be great if we had a lot more information about that. Actually, when I was checking out Pantheon, I realized, so no, let's put it the other way around. Last week, because we started having more NFT drops as well, right? So we had the Moken's League drop, which I think went really well. I hope that some of you actually claimed your free NFTs there. I was thinking about the drop calendar that Atomic Hub used to host, right? And now the question is, how do you go about this? Is that just wax drops? Is that all of the drops and whatnot? And then I saw that Pantheon was actually linking to NFT. What is it? NFTcalendar.io. So if and they generally support wax, it's just that there's very little stuff on there currently basically being advertised. So we should kind of, if any one of you is doing an NFT drop or whatever, just find one of these tools where we can have a proper calendar and maintain them there, right? So that there's a better better overview of what's dropping, because there are so many NFT drops. There's like this wax NFT drop calendar with stuff happening. There's 1,000 things in there, but there's no visibility for this outside of, well, this little group who know this. There's this, I think that's this Google spreadsheet, right? So it would be great if we had something that we then also could link to from Wombat and Atomic Hub, so that people find their stuff that they want, and it's not just kind of in our little realm here, right? And there's a little bit more cross pollination. I think that would be really, really cool. So that just came to my mind yesterday when I was seeing this. The thing is with 1 hour runs is that it's a lot better value MP per stamina, or well, contribution per stamina. So the XP cap doesn't really matter, except if you want to level up, right, Captop? So I think there is a phase in which everyone kind of still wants to level up as quickly as possible until they're level 90, 95, or maybe 80, depending on their strategy, right? Maybe 100. But until then, you would want to level up as quickly as possible, and you would actually buy that XP gear, right? The professors, and you would use it. So if you want to use it, then the XP cap does matter, right? Because you're hitting it faster on the 1 hour runs than on the 500 runs. So I think that this is not a stamina thing necessarily. Can you make it so that the 2 boosted duration would only be added to the season pass pack? So if the Overlord boosts a 5 minute and 1 hour, then you'd need to stake the duration NFTs to have them. I'm not sure I understand. So you're saying you would want to not have the 8 hour. No, okay. So you're saying you cannot do the 5 minute run. So are you saying, like, let's clarify that. Are you saying that the boost should only apply to the people who have an NFT staked, and that comes from the season pass? Or are you saying that the duration should only be available if you have the 5 minute and the 1 hour duration picker staked, and these are the ones that only go into these are the only ones that go into the season pass, and otherwise you can't make the run? Because I'm not sure I like it, to be honest. Beantown Bob, can we have a bricks purchased available on the clan leaderboard? Yeah, we're looking into giving you more stats there. Mm-hmm. 18 stamina for 8,000, I guess 8,000 experience. I get 1k with 5 stamina and 3k for 15-minute runs. So 1 hour runs, you get way more experience for the stamina you use. Yeah, but stamina is not an issue for many people if they don't have so much speed, right? And if you use a lot of XP gear, then you naturally don't use as much speed gear. So I think, but I would also speak to increasing the XP cap, especially for the shorter runs, right? I just see Donald Trump streaming. Are you saying I'm Donald Trump? Because nobody's ever seen Donald Trump and myself in the same room. As he has NFTs, we might want to rate him later and ask people if they want to store their Trump NFTs in the best wallet, the Wombat wallet. Do you really want to? So Donald Trump is streaming on Twitch? Is that correct? I mean, that would be interesting to raid Donald Trump with the Wombat community here. Not sure whether everyone would appreciate that. But well, we may have a little little discussion about that towards the end of the stream. Any boosted duration should only be available in the season pass. Having 15 minutes and 8 hours every season pack is boring. Make it more dynamic. So to use the boosted duration, you need to have a season pass. Yeah, I think that at least 5 Minute Masters is not loving the idea. I'm not sure about it. It would always mean we would have very little time to actually define the pack. B, we would actually have to change because the 5 minute runs are available to anyone, to everyone, right? And and C, it's a very small effect for what it's supposed to do, I believe. Last week, Zoller said there would be an update on new gears. Is this still happening this week? I think now it's a bit short notice. We are pretty much ready to go with it. But we haven't launched any information about it yet. So I think what we might end up doing is announce it this week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, and then actually have it happening towards mid-season. Looks like it, at least it's recommended for me with about 4.5K viewers. That's little for somebody like Donald Trump, isn't it? Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see whether he's still live when we end the stream. But yeah, who of you has been playing Our Planet since it relaunched on Friday? Because I don't have the time to actually get into it, but I was wondering whether there's anything new, and it's kind of there's somebody is that really a thing? Someone broke something, but whatever that means. Something fell. You meant the noise. It's just I made movements, so I dropped a plastic cover. It was not the kids. The kids are at home, but they're relaxing with their iPads. Okay. Whew. I mean, there was an intense first hour. Now the chat has slowed down a little. I'm not so unhappy about this. This is okay. Cons for events. You're spoiling it. No, it's good. Thanks for the confirmation with the team on Treevolve. Speaking about Treevolve, what is the current plan for this collection regarding rewards MP? Why so many trees are still level 0? I think actually we have an amazing ratio of trees that have been upgraded. So I didn't expect. So I don't know how many exactly, but I didn't expect as many trees to get upgraded. So it's probably like at least 50%. So I wouldn't say it's little. I think that's just very normal. People don't really understand how things work, and they just buy them, and then they don't do anything with them because they don't know what's going on, right? So I think that's totally normal, and I think that we have a very good ratio. So in general, let's have a brief look at that, right? So originally, when we launched them, the idea. Log out here. So right now we have 1.3 million, 1.36 million wombat in the reward pool. So that's very low, right? We started with 10 million, and in the beginning this went up a lot. So we were at over 11 million, and then at some point that's that's how we have designed it so that it keeps going down, right? Because we pay out 1%, we hand out 1% of the remaining pool to holders. So naturally, at some point it starts going down quicker, and then it slows down, and then at some point, obviously, this is a asymptotic curve, right? So it would never reach zero. We would have to shut it down at some point when it reaches a certain threshold, right? Or it goes below a certain threshold. So my original idea was, okay, we started 10 million, and as soon as we cross the 1 million, we go below 1 million total rewards, we would actually just pay out all the rest at once, right? Instead of keep paying, right? Because obviously it's going to be very little, right? At some point we're going to be at 100,000, so it's just going to be 1,000 Wombat tokens paid out, and it's just not worth it, right? So I think 1 million was what we originally had in mind. So I think soon what we're going to do is basically just do it, right? We will announce that, okay, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, we will essentially pay out all the remaining Wombat to the holders, right? Then they will still keep leveling up when you trade them, so they will still increase their MP, but the Wombat tokens will stop the payout of the rewards, right? So the tokens might still be converted, and we might actually burn them, right? But they will not be paid out because we need to stop that at some point, right? Because it's going to be incredibly low numbers, and it's not worth the gas, for instance. So that's the plan. Sorry to bother you with my questions. I seem to be irritating you with my questions, comments today. Which one? Was I looking irritated? Not that I can say. No, go ahead, Inton Bob. Don't worry. Like, if I don't answer, like if there's something I don't answer properly, or feels like I'm irritated or whatever, just ask again, right? Or say, no, that's Adrian. Please try again. This was not good enough. This answer sucks. All right, go ahead. No worries here. The icing on the cake was the brick stats in the clan section. I'm happy to, like, I don't know. I don't understand. What was so bad about what in my answer made the impression that I'm irritated about your question? That's not an irritating question. It's totally fine. It's just we've had the discussion. I don't know where we stand with it. I think that's totally something that we'll do, right? And also, there was a really good idea. I don't know whether that was by you, Binton Bob. It was not my answer. Okay. Actually, the tax idea that I really like, or we like, including Zuller, that the clan leaders could set a tax on resources so that they get auto donated whenever anyone gets some resources or materials. So there's some people coming in. Hi, Tayson and Alec. Late people coming in. That's cool. Still some people here. So yeah, I mean, if things are slowing down in the chat, so is 1 million Wombat threshold to stop rewards payout on Revolve? Not stop, right? Yeah, kind of stop afterwards. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's 1 million at this stage. I would rather set a date now for it, right? So because it's overall low, right? If you think that, oh yeah, now by trading, you can increase it, you can like push it back up, and yeah, that's what I want to avoid, right? That this drags on forever. It's been over a year now. We had not anticipated actually this to go for that long, right? So they were a lot more popular, especially in the beginning, or yeah, during a certain phase earlier this year, for instance, um, where there was a lot of rewards coming into the pool. So that this has been going on for a lot longer than we had thought, right? I mean, obviously, from a pure math perspective, if you pay out 1% of the remaining pool, it takes a while to reach 1 million, right? And it doesn't matter all that much where you start. But yeah, it's still amazing how long it's been going on. So we didn't think that this would go on for a lot longer than a year. Would it not make sense to dump the tree tokens before play? That is yet another thing, and that's what we wrote in the white paper as well. Yes, because we, well, we don't want to carry this into play, right? That's for sure. I think start investing in revertees. Do you have in mind to upgrade the fee for refund them, or will it stay at 5%? There is no fee to refund them. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You get back 100% of your USDC if you refund revertees. We were thinking about making a different version. So here's the thing: with revertees, what I would actually prefer is for the next version of them is that they don't pay back the USDC or whatever stable. Right now, nowadays we could actually make a version of revertees on Wax, right? That uses Wax and basically buys back Wombat or Play with Wax rewards from, well, staking on Wax Fusion, for instance, right? That was much more difficult earlier because, I mean, on Polygon we use a lending pool, right? We use Aave, and there's nothing like that on Wax, right? But with something like SWax on Wax Fusion, that's something we could do. But what I would prefer is that instead of paying back the rewards, the refund in the same currency that you got it, is to convert that into, well, Wombat or Play, 100% of that. And then, yes, if you want, you can basically swap them back. There would be a little bit of a fee involved there, of course, but that's not necessarily like a trading fee. That's not necessarily the point. Might incentivize some people to actually just keep the tokens rather than the stables, right, that they put in. So, and yeah, I mean, on the other hand, that would also enhance trading volumes. I would wonder what you think about that, because I mean, in the end, for people who really want the stables, they could still get the stables back, right? But that was an idea that we had, that we could make different versions of this and see how popular they are and how well they work. You heard there was a fee, but there is no fee. We're so fair that we don't even charge a fee. We should, I guess, we should, right? But no, that's not what we're doing. I had a suggestion about rarity color showing up behind the equipments. If that's too complicated to happen, could there be just a small dot in the top right corner with a rarity color instead? I don't think that's too complicated overall. Just a matter of, well, prioritizing it and making it happen. But yeah, maybe it's not the color in the background. Maybe it's little stars or whatever. Right? We could do something like that as well. No problem. Are there any plans next for the clans? Kevin Kev has been asking. So yeah, the next clan thing that would be on our roadmap would be the clan raids, right? So basically where clans can attack other clans to get their resources, and there's a little bit of defensive strategy associated with that. We will have to see how overall what the overall penetration of clans is in the game, because the last things that we've been adding have been very much focused towards established players, experienced players, and so on, right? The next things that we were doing will have a similar effect, but all of this makes it harder for new players to actually play the game, right? So we might want to focus on something that actually allows newer players to actually compete on some level, maybe not on top kind of contribution points, season points level, but on some level where they can basically create some or earn some rewards, or at least be competitive in a certain aspect, right? So I'm not sure whether clans are going to be kind of the top priority up next, essentially. No, you shouldn't have a fee. We're helping burning Wombat tokens. But what if the fee would be used to actually buy back and burn Wombat tokens? What's streaming on Twitch? If we take Wax games, I don't know and tested many, but Encryptia would be the best I know. Encryptia is really fun. It's one of my favorite. However, people more like competitive games where it's not just the position on the leaderboard, but also PvP battles. And it also should be a bit skill-based, not just luck or money. Oh, I think there's a little bit of contradiction there with the popularity of casino streams, right? Because there's no skill involved in casino streams, at least not a lot, but they're very, very popular. Yeah, I was wondering, and maybe that's something that we'll kind of offer soon, whether there's still a lot of streams, especially on Wax, because that's what Wax streams used to be in 21, early 22, right? With a lot of people basically just buying some packs, opening them on stream, seeing what's inside, maybe pulling something super rare, whatever. Is that something that's still happening? Because that's obviously a little bit easier to do. But having kind of a PvP action-based, skill-based game mode in Dungeon Master, that's going to be like a lot tougher, right? Of course. Would be great to at least have some sort of guaranteed value of the refund is done in tokens other than USDC, as most people hold reverses over long period. No, it would be converted in real time, right? So what I mean is that you bought your Reverti 2 years ago for $100, 100 USDC, right? Now you want to give it back. So you get $100 worth of Wombat tokens back, right? And what we would do is real time, actually, on the way back, convert your 100 USDC into Wombat on the way back, right? And you would just get $100 worth of Wombat at the time of basically reverting it. So depending on when, so there could be a way of actually buying Wombat, right, if the time is right. And then at a later stage, if you think, oh, okay, now you've made whatever 10% gain on the tokens, you could sell them back for USDC and buy more reverties and whatever, and then return them back, right? So maybe that's at least is a little bit more interesting than basically just getting the USDC back. No, the refund is in USDC for reverties. Cane Master, you should really check them out. Hey, maybe we can, come on, let's just do this. It's very simple. So let me see whether I have any USDC to mint. I think I do. Yeah, okay, cool. So the difficulty being that you have to use USDC. We used USDC, and that was the bridged USDC, and we can't really change it. Okay, so this is costing you 25. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, the software is sometimes a little bit brittle. Let me see whether I have the what I have the chain set to. So that's Polygon. I'll just reload the page, whatever. So let's mint one. Mint. Come on, do it. There we go. So there was another, because I clicked twice, there was another modal. That's why I'm getting an error. So now, I'm not sure whether that will auto reload, but let's see. I'll just reload the page. Still 399. Maybe my transaction is still pending. Always so difficult with Polygon or EVMs over anything like Wax, right? Yeah, it's still pending. I'm not sure what gas looks like in Polygon right now. Let's wait a little. We can also speed it up later. So yeah, so you buy them in USDC, right? And you could see that I had 50 USDC in my wallet there. Is it still pending? Still pending. What's wrong with Polygon? Let me speed that up for the sake of demoing this. It doesn't matter how much I pay, right? So it seems like gas should be all right. Set a lot higher gas than. There's been a lot of problems with Polygon nodes recently. That's ugly. It's really ugly. What a showcase effect here. It's still there, still sitting there. Can speed it up once again. Let's see. That's weird. Can I show off my XXL reverty? I have it staked, so no. Do you have Paul? Yes, of course, I have Paul. But if I cancel the transaction, then I will still have to pay higher gas, right? So if it's not going through with oh no, I think it's done. Just had to pay 50% higher gas. Is it? No, it's still not done. Crazy. Oh my goodness, Paul is below 30 cents. This is crazy. Okay, then we'll have to wait a little longer because my transactions aren't going through. Maybe there's some problem with the. Oh, I mean, the transaction hash is there, so the infrastructure should be fine. It's just the chain is full. What's this? So what's the gas? I don't know. It doesn't seem so bad, but it's crazy that it's taking so long. Anyway, we'll revert. We'll revert to that a little later. So a good idea to buy them when market go up and sell them when market's down. I don't know. That's up to you, right? The point is right now, you buy them for USDC, and you get 100% of your USDC back when you revert them, when you burn them on the site, right? So you're not losing anything except of the Well, time value of your USDC, right? So you could have, if your USDC are idling in your wallet, then it's better to just mint some reverties, because, well, you can stake them in Dungeon Master, or you can, whatever you do with them, even if you do nothing with them, you will be generating more demand for Wombat tokens, right? Because the more USDC is held, or the more reverties are minted, the more USDC is held by the smart contract, the more is in this Aave pool basically being lent out, and the more interest is being generated that is then used to buy back and burn Wombat tokens, right? What's the MP for the two newer higher value reverties? Yeah, for the lack of having this information publicly available in the sheet, I can look it up for you. Oh, it's raining. Just started raining. So I'll quickly check whether my transactions has gone through. Wow, that's wild. That's really weird. Mining power. They're really high. It's just now, like, there we go. Now it's done. Okay, so let's go back. We'll do one thing at a time, right? But reverties are really cool. So now this transaction should be, oh no, I got it wrong. I looked at the wrong tab. Sorry for that. It's still not done. And now the transaction is gone. Yeah, no, I was wrong. Okay. Anyway, sorry for that. Still waiting. It's still 399 minted. So what's the MP? There we go. No, what is it? Let me see what, I don't remember which collection that is. Which okay. Hang on. Okay, I'll look it up for you on this one. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so that's okay. So we have 1,333 for the smallest. We have 4,000 for the next bigger one. We have 8,888 and 13,333 for the XXL one. So that's actually quite a lot. Sorry that this took so long. Yeah, Kane Master was faster. Or Kevin Kev, sorry. It annoys me how chains with fees and failed transactions, which still cost fees, are for some reason more popular than wax. Because unfortunately, this is not what it's all about, right? It's also not about the tech. It's also not about the throughput. It's about what people who made a lot of money are looking at, right? The problem with wax is now that wax is basically very close to an all-time low, or maybe at all-time low, there is nobody in the wax space who's made a lot of money with wax, right? And that's a problem for every chain, right? That's the same in EOS essentially. That if you got in early on Solana, on Ethereum, on Polygon, on whatever, then you might have made a lot of money by now, right? Sorry, 1 second. Yes, you may have made a lot of money by now by just buying and holding, right? But so then anything that you buy is really cheap or feels really cheap, right? So you buy an NFT for 1 ETH. If you bought ETH at $5, then this 1 ETH feels cheap, right? But anything that you buy now in wax, if you bought wax, like, I mean, who bought wax at 3 cents, right? If you buy wax now, you bought wax at 3 cents. But before that, who bought the majority of the wax at 3 cents, right? A lot of people still have bought a lot of wax in 2021 at 30 cents, at 60 cents, at whatever, right? And now you don't spend these wax. Of course not, right? You want to wait until they go back up before you actually spend them. So from a psychological perspective, anything that you want to spend now, if you want to spend $1,000 in wax, you would buy $1,000 in wax and then spend that, right? But you're not having any leverage on your token price, and that's a massive problem, right? So as soon as you're in that situation where nobody is kind of a massive net positive, nobody has made a lot of money in the ecosystem, people stop spending large amounts, right? That's why it would be so cool if one of the meme coins, I'm not saying one of the blue, red, and yellow, but those would be massively cool. But sorry, there's some shouting going on with the kids again. But anyway, if one meme coin on wax, purely on wax, where you actually need to be on wax, Woofy was a great example because a lot of people made a bunch of money, but they didn't have to buy in on that on wax, right? But if as soon as there's massive successes with people making a lot of money on whatever coin on wax, then these people will probably spend a portion of that within the wax ecosystem, right? And that can actually spark something. Yeah. I started buying wax at 12 cents or 0.012, 1.2 cents. Even at 2.9 cents, my wallet still left him up 400%. How did you do that? When was wax at below what it currently is? I don't think that happened since the chain actually launched, right? But yeah, I think that's the main reason, that people don't really care about the tech. They care about where they can make money. And it's really hard to make money with anything wax related right now. 12 cents was April, June 22. Okay, so how are you up 400% at the current price, locked out? Show us the money. Show everyone the money. How do you do that? About to mint my Ether converter on Alien Worlds 2 from scratch. I have no idea. I can't comment on whether that's impressive or not because I've never played Alien Worlds big time, so I couldn't know. But yeah, farming and moving liquidity to smart places. I mean, with farms and liquidity, we're in a good position now on wax, right? With Taco, Alcor, NFT Swap, DeFi Box. We have enough venues. We have the possibility to have farms. We have staking and so on. So I think that's totally possible. The trading volumes are still pretty low overall. Again, also a matter of liquidity in the market, right? If you look at the big, we can again have a look at wax on Edge. Where is it? It's quite interesting if you look at the analytics overall, right? Oh, the real-time wax price. Oh my goodness, it's just depressing. So you can see what are the biggest liquidities, right? And this is basically sorted by 7-day volume, but yeah, we can also sort it by TVL, right? There's always some kind of a weird coin somewhere up there. But you see that the liquidities and also the trading volumes are really, really low, right? So with Woofy having $80,000 in liquidity in TVL, so that's just the cash position. So if we just click in here, so that's 78,000 in TVL. So that means that both of the coins on both sides are worth 150,000, give or take, right? For a coin that has a fully diluted market cap of 100 million, that's very, very little, right? We can actually look up how much liquidity there is on Solana for this. I would assume a lot more. Just briefly checking DEX tools. So there's 800, yeah, like $1.5 million in liquidity, give or take, right? So $1.2 million dollars in liquidity on Solana. So that's a lot more liquidity, like whatever, 10x, 8x, 10x of what we have here, right? And that's an overall problem. I mean, it all is kind of self-propelling, right? If wax is down, all the pools are down. If wax was at 10, 15 cents now, then all the numbers would be so much higher because a lot of that is deployed against wax, right? But that is a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy right there. But it's great when there's people who still are up with their portfolio value. I guess we can say he lucked out. Boom. Nice. ETH.com lowest fiat right now is like $1,800. They mine around. Okay, the ETH converter. They mine around 10 TLM per hour right now. Legendary tool. TLM is what, 2 cents, 3 cents right now? Oh, hopefully one bad play comes back soon and we see some real growth there. I'm pretty convinced about that, to be honest. I mean, if you just look what happened last week with Funkoween, right? So the Halloween Funko got the second edition of Funko Halloween, Funkoween, was dropped on Thursday last week, right? On Halloween. And the trading volumes that basically generated a buyback of Wombat tokens, 800,000 Wombat tokens in 3 days, right? So if you look at that, what kind of demand we can generate for Wombat or Play going forward, just with trading volumes, and that was just wax, right? And just 3 days. If there is a healthy market for NFTs, this is craziness, right? So I think that's going to be very, very attractive going forward as soon as we see some of the markets picking up. But imagine we have like 1 million wax trading volume for Funkoween, and wax is not 3 cents, but wax is 10 cents or 15 cents, right? Again, you have 3 or 5 times as much trading volume, 3 or 5 times as much Wombat actually bought back, right? In this situation. So I think that's pretty awesome. Well, it's pretty crazy. If the collab with AWS failed to push wax price higher, I don't know what collaboration could create an uptrend. Yeah, that's difficult, right? So I think one thing that is going to help is more adoption, right? More content and easier ways of getting into wax. I mean, if things like Woofy, for instance, are predominant on Solana, although they are kind of strong in the wax ecosystem, if everyone looks into Solana because there's so much more liquidity. And yes, there's always some people maybe coming over from Solana to Wax. Okay, but I think more original content, and that's why I like Pantheon. Not like I like the idea of Pantheon. I haven't played the game, so I don't know about the game itself, right? But it's great that there is more original stuff actually like launching again, right? So we need more of that, and then I think that's in a good market, it's going to work itself up. But other chains are incentivizing builders to actually build on their chain. So there's hardly any reason to actually build, like as an outside company, actually build on Wax over anything else. So Dungeon Worlds win. I mean, that's kind of the same discussion that we're having internally. Is that going to be predominant on Wax or something else, right? Especially, I mean, obviously the NFTs that you have already, they will count in Dungeon Worlds anyway. But anything new, do we want to launch that on Wax? Because it's really hard to, well, run a sustainable business on Wax only. Given the current noise is on Solana, and you plan to have Solana as the fourth chain for Dungeon Master. Yeah, plans would be a lot sad, but Solana is definitely one of the chains that we're looking at to actually create more opportunities. Let's put it that way, right? I mean, immutable zkEVM is not going as well as we had hoped for, although there's quite a bunch of games launching. But again, now there's problems with the SEC, right? Let's see. But the overall traction is not. I mean, the most natural candidate would have been immutable zkEVM for Dungeon Master, right? But now I would actually second guess that. The problem is, I dropped the same thing again. The problem with Solana is that everything is proprietary tech, right? You can't reuse anything, so everything would have to be built from scratch. That is Wombat. That is Atomic Hub. Ideally, that is Dungeon Master. So that's tough. In 2032, Amazon takes Wax as a primary payment method on all products. I think Amazon would come up with their own blockchain before they do that. What's that new OpenSea post about? I don't know. I haven't looked. OpenSea. Is there something? A new OpenSea is coming. I have no idea what that means. Can only be good, I suppose, for the NFT market. Devin is writing, we've been quietly cooking. To really innovate, sometimes you have to take a step back and reimagine everything. So we built a new OpenSea from the ground up. Sales up in December. Definitely, fingers crossed for them. And yeah, let's hope that this is... let's hope that this is going to be a massive success for the NFT market at large, right? Because this is also what happened in 2021, right? There was a massive run on the NFT markets overall. So Wax NFTs had no choice but actually perform well. There was a lot of cool stuff happening as well. Okay, folks, we're almost 2 hours into the stream. I guess that you want to play some Twitchy Tides. So what we're going to do is exclamation mark Wombat to join, right? What we're going to do is top 10 players will get this cool wood medal still. I'll keep handing them out until we run out of them. And well, let's do it in a different way than usual. I would say anyone using the Wombat skin would get an extra medal, But this time I would say whoever finishes the best while using the wombat skin will get two extra medals. So I mean, right now there's just Shiba Seeker, I believe, so far, who's signed up with the wombat skin. They're not available in the drop anymore, right? So that has run out. Oh, Coins for Vince has also signed up. So now we're gonna have a competition. Or we'll do it not two. I'm gonna say two, but as many as there are people playing with the wombat skin. So there's a little bit of a higher stakes here, right? So at some point, if there's 5 people, then there's gonna be 5 extra ones. So I don't think there were any more questions. So we have two people. Where is everybody with their wombat skins? I think they're, now that you can't buy them in the store anymore and on the drop anymore. So the verifications should be back up, I suppose, after the Kubernetes upgrade. So Twitchy Tides. Okay, the blue one. No, I need the yellow one. So the lowest listing is 44 wax, so about what, $1.20. So we can still get it. Now it's too late to actually use it in this round, but for next week it's just $1. And you can get free stuff here by just using this in your Twitchy Tides sessions here. Wombat Scuba, not the right skin. Yes, it is. But there's just 2 people who have it. Coins for Vince. Mocha Twitcher is here. So there's going to be 3 extra ones for the player finishing the highest in the leaderboard wearing this skin. Anyone, right? Whether that's the black one or the blue one, or we'll do it like that today. So Shiba Seeker as the rare one, Mocha Twitcher as the rare one, Coins for Vince has the blue one is the uncommon one, right? Okay, I'll give you another minute to join, and then we'll get going. Anyone, doesn't matter which one. Doesn't matter. The collab drop has ended because there was a deadline to it. And it was like, if you had the entire set, I'm not sure, I would have to talk to Pop Paragon about it. If you had the entire set, like a rare, a Scars, an uncommon and a common one, then you would get the epic one. And the 10% of all the Wombat proceeds from the drops would be distributed among all the people who actually had the full set. So that's how I understood it. And so the deadline for that was the 1st of November. So I'm not sure. Maybe we can reopen the drop afterwards. I don't know. Maybe that's not a bad idea. But anyway, so let's just briefly check the settings. We'll go with fast, so that's okay. And then now we're gonna start it because I got to run. And let's go. So the top 10 players will get 1 wood medal, and the top player with a, I think that was coins for Vince. The top player with a wombat skin is getting another 3 on top. So we're down to 9 players. I like how fast it goes. So all of you are already in the money with the wood metal. Webby and Lexilex. So congrats, Lexilex, for winning this round. GG's Webby, Matt Jonah, SPT, Drumar, Gentari, Canvas, Gucci Gaming, BS Knife, LQ Pin, and Charveen. And then we'll have Coins for Vince, 20th. We'll get 3 because I think that Mocha Twitcher and Shiba Seeker are below. Cool. Congrats. So that was Twitchy Tights. All right. That's a diss, right? Where we got second place just like he is on the Dungeon Master leaderboard. Oh my goodness. Cool. All right. Yeah, congrats. Then let's see. Who are we rating today? If you want to rate Donald Trump, you can bring it up. It's popular vote here. I have all 4, of course. But I don't know whether I haven't looked whether I have received anything. Actually, I will have to talk to Pop Herring about it. Yeah. So who you want to rate? It's your choice. I will do whatever chat decides. So if that's Donald Trump, if he's still alive, then it is what it is, right? I'm not taking sides here in any way. But if you want to rate Donald Trump and float some wombat ideas, then it's up to you. So I don't know. You folks decide. And I don't know who's online, and the UI still sucks for rating on Twitch. Las Vegas Apes live, right? That's what I can see. Who else? NFT dealer or Vegas. So there's not a lot of votes here, but Vegas has been getting the most votes here. Stop the count! Stop the count! So, okay. We'll go with Las Vegas Ape. That is okay. Say hello. He hasn't been here in the chat. Have an interesting week, a great week, actually. Maybe see you later this week. I hope that we can pull off some more streaming. I would actually love to play some stuff on stream, some of the wax games, maybe some. Well, Our Planet, I'm not sure because that's mobile. Maybe that's doable for me with my limited streaming skills. Maybe some Pantheon. I would love to do that and get some tips from you guys. But in any case, have an interesting week. There's a lot of stuff ahead, right? Elections Fed decision. So let's see where we are next week in terms of crypto market and so on. So have fun, enjoy, and see you soon. And yeah, have fun with Las Vegas Ape. I need to start playing more tides. If I got fewer questions and would not have to spend as much time on questions, I could play more Twitchy tides. One game a week is not enough. Well, then my other streamers need to play more Twitchy tides. Anyway, go ahead. We're rating Las Vegas Ape now, so there's still a round open. So let's go, have fun, and bye bye. Thanks.